Here's everything that I made in my kitchen this week. Made some barbecue chicken calzones, the perfect apple pie, a Thanksgiving turkey, basically made the entire Cane's menu, some buttery garlic knots, pretzel bites, as well as the Cane's Texas toast. And there's plenty more creative recipes coming next week.
Next Taco Tuesday, try making these Chipotle shrimp tacos with lime crema. They're so easy to make and packed with flavor. Our first step is to spice up our shrimp in a delicious Chipotle marinade. Then we take some slaw and add some honey, cilantro, mayo, lime juice, garlic powder, and salt. Toss the slaw and set it aside while we cook our shrimp. Get a beautiful sear on both sides, and I like to add some butter at the end to get it extra saucy. Toast your tortillas and then assemble. Add the lime crema, avocado, cilantro, lime juice, cotija, and hot sauce. I really hope you're not sick of the tortilla churn yet, because I have one that's gonna blow your mind. It's basically a fusion between a Crunchwrap Supreme and the tortilla wrap. To one corner, add your nacho cheese. Add sour cream to the opposite side. In the third corner, add your lettuce, tomatoes, and Doritos. And in the last one, add your ground beef and shredded cheese. Now just wrap it up, toast it, and enjoy.
This ooey gooey cinnamon pull-apart bread is so good and so easy to make. Get yourself some biscuits. I use these because it was 58 cents on sale. Preheat your oven, cut the biscuits into pieces, a whole bunch of sugar and cinnamon in a bowl, mix it together, and you're going to dip the pieces in it and then lay it into a pan, okay? Pour some melted butter and remaining sugar on top, bake for 15 minutes, and you're done.
Pinche 956 a la verga.
The best way to roast your potatoes. Use small potatoes and boil until fork tender. Drain off the water and put them in a big bowl. We're going to start with a generous amount of olive oil. You're going to do salt, pepper. We're going to go onion powder, garlic powder, crushed red pepper, fresh basil, fresh thyme. Get that all mixed together and dump it out on a lined baking sheet. Spread them out, give them a little room on every side, and then use a glass to smash them about a ½ inch thick. And then throw them in a 425-degree oven for about 30 minutes, but you're gonna wanna flip them halfway through. And you're gonna end up with a soft interior, crispy exterior, the best roasted potatoes you've ever had.
Hey everyone, it's Ariana, and today we're making the birria tacos that are taking social media by storm. These were honestly some of the best things I've ever put in my mouth. First, I rehydrated 3 guajillo chilies in hot water, and then seasoned up 2.5 pounds of our beef roast with salt and pepper. Then I added it to a super hot pan and seared it on all the sides until it was nice and golden. This helps develop the flavor. Then I added about half an onion, which I broke up, and 5 cloves of garlic, sauteing that in the oil. Once the onions are translucent, add them to a blender along with the chilies, and a teaspoon of paprika, Mexican oregano, and cumin, plus a can of chipotles in adobo, a ½ cup of crushed tomatoes, and a 1/4 cup of vinegar, blending this up. Coat your meat in the sauce and then pop it in the fridge to marinate for a couple hours or overnight. Then add your meat to a pot with about 4 cups of broth and 6 cloves, a cinnamon stick, some bay leaves, and ½ an onion. After simmering this on medium-low for about 3 hours, it should be completely falling apart. And I just shredded it up with 2 forks, dipped the tortilla into the sauce, and then added it to a pan with some cheese, the meat, and more of the sauce, frying it on both sides till it was nice and crispy, and finishing them with some chopped onions and cilantro. Check out the full recipe on my Instagram, where I reply to all my followers' comments.
I almost don't want to put you onto this, but I will because this carrot cake recipe is actually incredible. To a large bowl, add 4 eggs, 1 cup of brown sugar, a ½ cup of applesauce, 3/4 of a cup of olive oil, 1 cup of white sugar, and a generous splash of vanilla, and whisk that until combined. Then add 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, a pinch of kosher salt, and 1 tablespoon of ground cinnamon, and mix that until just combined. Then add 2 to 3 cups of grated carrots and fold. Then you want to divide the batter between 2 parchment-lined 9-inch cake tins and bake them at 350 for around 35 minutes. Let them cool on a wire rack and make your cream cheese frosting. In the meantime, I'll post the recipe for mine soon. After the layers have cooled down, spread about 1/3 of the frosting between the 2 cakes and spread the rest over the top and sides. So yeah, that's it. The full recipe is up on my Instagram. I hope you try it and let me know what you think.
Do y'all remember when you were younger and your mom would tell you there's food at home and you be hella tight because all you wanted was some McDonald's because you knew she was going to make this same thing from the night before and probably the night before that? Well, I taught myself how to cook and I don't think my kids are going to have that problem. Do you see these dishes? Immaculate. Come on.
You might be surprised by how easy it is to make crepes at home. Here's a basic recipe you can try for yourself. Start by sifting pastry flour into a large bowl. Next, add 1 tablespoon of sugar and 1/4 teaspoon of salt to the flour and whisk to combine. Now it's time to add the wet ingredients, starting with milk, followed by 2 whole eggs. Give the batter a really good whisk. This isn't like pancake batter where you want to leave lumps. For the ideal crepe batter, you need it super smooth, so to ensure there are absolutely no lumps, strain the batter through a sieve and use a spatula to push it through. Now you're ready to start cooking. Melt some butter in a non-stick or cast iron pan over medium heat. Use a ladle to scoop a portion of the batter into the pan, then gently swirl the pan so the batter spreads out evenly across the surface. Cook for about 1 minute, then use a spatula to gently flip the crepe and cook for about another minute on the other side. This recipe will make roughly 8 to 10 crepes of this size. You're now ready to add any filling you like. We stuck with the classic Nutella, but fruit or jam would be amazing as well. Fold the crepe into quarters and you're ready to serve.
Don't know what you're saying. You're flying higher than a plane, and I'm not complaining. It's getting too loud, we'll figure it out. I'm out of my brain.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
You must follow food TikTok. Knowing how to make food from a box is not good enough. Knowing how to order food online is not impressive. Come to food TikTok and I will show you how to cook such amazing food that your friends and family will be so impressed, and you'll always be showing off your amazing cooking skills.
The other day, somebody left me a comment asking why my recipes are so unhealthy if I studied nutrition. The answer is pretty simple. Eating yummy food makes me happy. And honestly, seeing how 2020 has been going, I don't know how much time we have left. I'm really not trying to make this year any worse by eating rabbit food, and you shouldn't either, so come to Food TikTok and we'll cook all these delicious dishes together.
I can't talk right now. I'm doing fat ass shit. Fuck one plate, I like to eat. The point of this song is that I like to eat.
Guys, this is seriously the best brownie recipe we've ever made, or probably had. They were so good. They come from our new cookbook, Dessert Person. This was actually the first recipe that we made from the cookbook, but we're so excited to try other ones. They're actually ranked from 1 to 5 to difficulty, and so you kind of know what you get going into each recipe. This one had mostly pantry staples, but there were a few things that we purchased. We got Dutch processed cocoa powder. I'm sure you could use regular, but the smell once you mix that with that boiling water is so immaculate. It's like a chocolatey aroma that fills your kitchen. And we also had to get the malted milk powder. This one was such a good addition, added a great flavor. I kind of wish we added a little bit more, but we didn't want to mess up any of the measurements. This brownie recipe is so good. We honestly finished the batch in one night, and the center can be super chewy and gooey, and the outside are a little bit more chewy. These are great. Make them, please.
That's 13, 14, 15, right? 30. This magic moment.
You see?
So different and so new. Was like any other.
Love that. Oh, that's perfect. And it's tight on the edge. You're kind of sandwiching it over. It's a seam. Can I do that? Because this is a bigger one, so you want it to be bigger.
You'll see. I mean, it's absolutely Look at that.
Oh my. Let me drive the boat. What we got here? Can you explain what we got here?
Yes. This is Godzilla roll, Diablo.
Oh my god.
Osaka, Monster, Volcano.
You have to stop eating fast food every single day. Spending money on food is still spending money, FYI. I'm talking to those of us who Postmate a $5 meal for 20 bucks. Come to Food TikTok and let me take care of you with some delicious and easy recipes.
Baby, work it.
Here's all the food that I made for TikTok in the month of November. I made some buttery garlic knots, Panera's autumn squash soup, copycat Chick-fil-A spicy chicken sandwiches, homemade burger buns and Nashville hot chicken sandwiches, the perfect chocolate chip cookies, some baked mac and cheese, matcha snickerdoodles, and since the Cane's menu is pretty much only 3 things, I basically made the entire Cane's menu. Made some pretzel bites with cheese sauce to dip them in, the perfect apple pie, buffalo chicken calzones, copycat Annie cinnamon sugar pretzel bites, their little frosting dip to go along with it, custard-filled coffee cake donuts, buffalo chicken tenders that I paired with buttery dinner rolls, s'mores chocolate chip cookies. These are hands down my favorite cookie recipe that I posted this month. Also posted these mozzarella stuffed garlic and parmesan dinner rolls, some cowboy cookies, copycat Olive Garden zuppa Toscana soup, garlic and herb mashed potatoes, as well as monkey bread and stuffing. And there's more fun and creative recipes coming next month.
My home for all seasons, so come on, let's go. Go below zero and hide from the sun. I love you forever, we'll have some fun. Yes, let's hit the North Pole and we'll have.
Today we're making Cane's chicken tenders, but 10 times better. If you want the recipes for the Texas toast and the cane sauce, they're already up on my page. But for the chicken, you want to marinate it in buttermilk, 1 egg, and 1 tablespoon of garlic powder. For at least 1 to 2 hours, overnight is preferred. Now in a separate bowl, you want to add 1.5 cups of flour, a tablespoon of cornstarch, and a teaspoon of baking soda, a tablespoon of onion powder, garlic powder, black pepper, salt, and paprika, and 1 cup of Italian breadcrumbs. We're going to take our chicken from our marinade and dip it into our flour, dip it into our buttermilk mixture, and then into our flour again. Let them rest on a rack for 10 minutes. Fry on medium heat for about 6 to 10 minutes or until fully cooked, and you're ready to enjoy. I obviously served it with my cane sauce, the homemade Texas toast, and some fries, and the written recipes will be on my Instagram throughout the week.
You have to stop eating fast food every single day. Spending money on food is still spending money, FYI. I'm talking to those of us who Postmate a $5 meal for 20 bucks. Come to Food TikTok and let me take care of you with some delicious and easy recipes.
Let's do some cooking.
Ariana, and I think we can all agree that Tiana's beignets and the Princess and the Frog look so unbelievably good. Today we're making them at home, and they're just as good as they look. In a mixer, stir together 1 1/4 cup of warm milk plus 1.5 teaspoons of yeast, and let this bloom for a few minutes. Then add 1/3 cup of sugar and 1.5 cups of flour, and once that's all combined into a batter, you can add an egg, 2 tablespoons of butter, and an additional 2 cups of flour. Switch over to the dough hook and mix it for about 5 minutes on setting 2, and then about 2 minutes on setting 4. After your dough should be all smooth and fluffy, you can also do these steps by hand, but it's just a little bit of a workout. Cover your bowl with plastic and then set it into a warm place to rise for about 2 hours. Once your dough has doubled in size, punch it down using your fist and then roll it out to about 1/3 of an inch thickness. Cut out squares to the size you like, and then heat your oil over medium-high, adding your beignets in. You want to make sure that it's bubbling so that they'll fluff up right away. Make sure to keep an eye on them because they brown super quickly, and then I finish them off with a little drizzle of honey and a mound of powdered sugar. Check out the full recipe on my Instagram where I reply to all my followers' comments.
You can make this simple cake with just 3 ingredients. Here's how. Start by blending 350 grams of your favorite store-bought cookie in a food processor. We chose graham crackers, but you can pretty much use any kind of cookie that you like. Add the finely crushed cookies to a large bowl, then sprinkle in baking powder through a sieve. This is what's going to make your cake rise so it's fluffy instead of hard and dense. Whisk together, then pour in warm milk. Now use a spatula to thoroughly mix everything together. Once it has the consistency of a cake batter, pour into a 7-inch square pan lined with parchment paper that overhangs slightly. Gently shake the pan to remove any air bubbles and even out the top, then pop in the oven at 340 Fahrenheit for 15 minutes. You can test if it's fully cooked by piercing the center with a skewer or toothpick. If it comes out clean, the cake is fully cooked. Remove from the pan and invert onto a clean cutting board or plate. Gently peel off the parchment paper and allow the cake to cool completely. Once it's cooled, top your cake with your favorite icing. Here we used a simple white chocolate ganache. Try this recipe at home and let us know which cookies you used and how it went.
Let's make Starbucks birthday cake pops at home. Bake a classic white cake and remove the crust and crumble it up. Add 2 tablespoons of vanilla frosting, mix it up, and then form into smooth balls like this. You want to make sure there's no cracks. Then you're going to melt some vanilla wafers, add some pink food coloring, dip your cake pop stick in there, and dip it halfway through. Then you're going to freeze for 10 minutes. Once you take it out, you're going to melt the rest of your chocolate. You can add some Easy Thins to make it thinner and tap off the excess chocolate. Then add some sprinkles, and that's it. Enjoy!